Okay, so no, folks. All right, everybody ready? All right, let's jump in. So don't let the fact that we're starting a bit late concern you. That time was very well spent, and frankly, we're very good at what we do, and we're going to get all of y'all out of here in a timely manner. So, if you all will look at the monitors, we're going to jump in. All right, so this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker, I'm your judge, and this is the ticket arraignment calendar. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, don't talk during court. Our goal is to return you to your lives promptly, and I cannot do that if y'all are having sidebar conversations, and frankly, I won't have much patience for it. All right, nobody's virtual, thank goodness. All right, cell phones. So earlier I came out and asked you to turn on your cell phones. At this point, everybody check them and make sure they're off. So, because we're about to start moving fast, and I'm notoriously distractible, and if your phones are pinging and dinging and everything else, then I'm going to want to figure out why. So please don't volunteer for contempt hearing. Just turn your phone off, let us move fast, and let us do what we do best. All right, this is really important because there's a lot going on this morning in the legal community in Spalding County. This is the correct courtroom for you. If you were issued a citation, this would have been by a Georgia State Patrol trooper here in Spalding County. That citation directed you to appear in the Spalding County State Court today. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, step out in the hallway and talk to the bailiff. I think they've already sorted this out, but I think Griffin Municipal Court is having court today. And then Judge Miller is on the third floor, but I think he's just doing civil. So that's it. All right, today is what's called your arraignment day. What that means for you all is that I'm going to go over your rights with you, and I'm going to tell you what your options are. And then you or your attorney is going to tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a bench trial. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors sit in that box over there and make the guilt or innocence decision on your case. And then there's a bench trial. That's where you give me permission to make the decision from the bench on your case with no jury present. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office. That's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. And then you can ask me about an attorney, and we will certainly give you further directions on that. Your charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. Misdemeanors carry a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. Now, a few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. Again, that's where I make the guilt or innocence decision from the bench with no jury present. You can waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea if you wish. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. Now, each of you here have the right to be presumed innocent. You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence for court. You have the right to testify or not testify, to not incriminate yourself, and if you choose to remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to have an attorney. You may hire your own attorney if you so choose, but if you cannot afford an attorney, then we'll give you directions to head to the Public Defender's Office to apply today. If you do not take action ASAP for the Public Defender's Office, you will very likely hear me say that you have waived the right to apply for their services and do not qualify. I'm amazed at how many people test me on that. All right, for those of you without an attorney, which is almost all of you here today, an attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what your charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial, make objections, protect your record, appeal any conviction, and otherwise just work to protect you. Now, I'm responsible for explaining first offender and conditional discharge. So what these each do is allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted. But there's a catch. You only get one of each for your entire life. There's a second catch. First offender is for everything except traffic-related charges, and conditional discharge is for drug-related charges only. Now, more to what y'all have, because most of you have traffic charges. So, nolo contendere, we call this a nolo plea for short. This does apply to y'all more appropriately. This is where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt, and it is available on most traffic charges. You get one nolo every 5 years, and that is measured from the incident date to the incident date, the ticket date to the ticket date. Your nolo will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. Quick show of hands. Who here is under 21 years of age? Okay, so when we get to the end of the calendar and y'all make your announcements, you need to tell us that you're under 21. Georgia law separates you into a separate category that you're dealt with differently, and we need to know that. All right. All right. Anyone here who is not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, habeas corpus. We call this habeas for short. It is this weird old law, but it's my job to explain it to you, so here goes. If you're convicted of these charges by any means, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. All traffic charges have a 6-month window to use your habeas rights before they expire. Everything else in this courtroom has 12 months to use those habeas rights before they expire. All right, conferencing. So if you wish to speak with the solicitor's office to see about resolving your case today, you may do so by simply announcing conference when your name is called. If you have an attorney, just let your attorney announce on your behalf. That's what they're here to do. The solicitor's office, again, that's this group over here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement, you can resolve your case today. If you do not reach an agreement, you simply tell the solicitor's office or any of the court's bailiffs that you wish to have a trial, and we'll move you in that direction. All right, so what is our 30 for 30 program that we did not steal from ESPN? So our 30 for 30 program is as follows. It's for the defendants who don't have the fine amount, but don't want to go on probation and don't want to go to trial. So you don't have the fine amount, but you don't want to go on probation and you don't want to go to trial. Then this may be something you're interested in. What this program allows you to do is to, after a conference with the solicitor's office, enter a plea, and you do receive a probated sentence, but then we delay the start of that probation by 30 days, hence the first 30. And then you pay a $30 program participation fee for us to run you into that program, 30 for 30, 30 days, $30. And if you pay your fine off in full plus the $30, then your case closes with no probation conditions. And so if that is something you're interested in, ask for a conference. If you're unsuccessful in that program, it's no big deal. You simply start your probation 31 days later, and your cases usually still terminate upon completion, so you still have an exit strategy out of there. All right, if you receive probation, you will be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team. There'll be a one-time $50 intake fee per case, and you need to know that 100% of all fine amounts may be worked off with community service work at $10 per hour. There's a $60 per month supervision fee each month until your case is closed. Now, that fee is mandatory, but it can certainly be waived after a separate hearing before it. All right, so for those of you that choose to move your case to a calendar, to a trial calendar today, this is how it'll work for you. All the cases that get moved to the trial calendar will go to the same 2-week trial calendar. Week 1 will be your calendar call, and you'll be assigned a specific date and time to come back for your calendar call. And then we'll all skip a week in the middle while we do other court. And then in week 2, your jury trials and bench trials will begin at 9 a.m. sharp on Monday. Now, you'll appear each and every day until your case is resolved. And we will use 2 or 3 courtrooms that week, and we will definitely reach your case for trial. Okay, do you want to help your friends and family? Because we are still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So if you recognize a name of someone who is missing, do them a favor, give them a call at a break, tell them to get down here ASAP, and you will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. All right, so we're about to call the calendar. When you hear your name called, stand up. If you're not able to stand up, just wave your hand real high and get our attention. If you have an attorney, which 1 or 2 of you do, just let your attorney announce for you. For those of you that do not have an attorney, which is the vast majority of you, what you're going to do is when Miss Tony calls your name, you're going to answer very loudly after standing up by yelling out either jury trial or bench trial or conference or attorney. And remember, those of you who are under 21, we do need to know that at that time. All right, Ms. Tiny, floor's yours.
Agnes Adkerson. Request failure to appear.
Okay.
German Allen.
He's in jail, as always.
I was about to say, he's been in jail forever.
He's gonna get banged up like a mole. He is now.
Ugh. If we want to, I just want to say out loud, if we want to move that to some other
Yeah.
less busy court date,
Yeah, tomorrow's a big one. Tomorrow's like the.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He's not getting out. He's in on felony charges. So let's just move that to next month's calendar, and we'll just see him next month out of the jail. He's got his own gravity about him.
Arcaria Barkley. Request failure to appear. Carlos Barrow. Request failure to appear. Azuri Blanding. Under 21.
All right, and you want to do a conference? Okay, thank you.
Robert Brookshire. Request failure to appear. Kateria Butler. Request failure to appear. Chantea Bailey. Request failure to appear. Jose Cardenas.
Request the public defender attorney.
Okay. All right, sit tight. Chesney.
Oh, no, she wasn't here.
All right. So normally the public defender's office is not here. They normally, I do not require them to attend this court date. But Ms. Porter and Mr. Charles are both here. He's the attorney with the public defender's office. She's the office manager. So Ms. Porter is actually going to speak with you today in the courtroom. Again, that's not the way we normally do that. So that's why I wanted to make sure that was okay. So when we're finished here, you sit tight until she talks to you, until she gives you your next set of instructions. All right, thank you.
Rodriguez Childs.
I'm sorry? Conference, thank you.
Christopher Connor. Request failure to appear. Madison Conway. Conference.
Thank you.
Ryan Cruz.
Conference.
Thank you.
Kendrick Daniel.
Jury trial.
All right, do you want to talk to the public defender's office? Are you waiving the right to apply for their services? All right, you may step out into the hallway. Do not leave until the bailiffs come see you. Of course.
She's asking.
And we didn't order a joint this morning. I gotta do one more round of reviews.
We'll probably be out of it. Okay, we can run. Okay, yeah, it's 50. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 60.
Okay.
You're right.
All right, thank you.
That was the whole version of answering your question. 60.
Amirian Davis. Request failure to appear. Eric Davis. Request failure to appear. Melissa DeGraff.
Conference.
Jared Doring.
Conference.
DeQuan Driver. Request failure to appear. Michael Durham. Request failure to appear. Deja Edwards.
Conference.
No. Remember me telling y'all that we're very good at what we do? Really, the way to say it is I'm the luckiest judge in the state of Georgia. I have the most amazing team members in every direction. The solicitor's office is about to divide out and start doing multiple things at the same time, and that gets us all out of here quicker. So, Mr. Shepherd, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. When I call your name, if you go to the double doors over here, my right, Your left will meet you in the hallway. Azuri Blanding, Rodriguez Childs, Madison Conway, Brian Cruz, Melissa DeGraff, Jared Doring, and Dacia Edwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Jamal Ellis. Request fair to appear.
Oh, y'all going now?
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're walking down.
I was looking at my calendar. Y'all are good to go. I should have been looking out in my order.
I want to just let y'all know right quick, there's nobody else in jail on them one calendar.
Just your,
Yeah, just your, he's the only one.
can you just confirm that he's on?
Yeah.
Ethan Fallen.
Under 21 and conference.
Eric Freeman. Request fair to appear. Carla George.
I don't
Request
have that case. Will you give me the case number?
Oh, it's not.
Doesn't have a
ticket number on it.
Yes.
Okay. I think that makes sense. So we'll just let them have it and they'll figure it out. You said that was George was the last name?
Yes.
Okay.
Tamara Gibbs.
No.
All right, what I'm gonna do is put you down for a conference, let you talk to the solicitor's office, but they'll very likely work out for you.
Kathleen Gibson. Request fair to appear. Elisha Goggins. Request fair to appear. Christopher Graham. Request fair to appear. Wesley Grant. Request fair to appear. Michael Hampton Jr. Request fair to appear. Eric Harris. Request fair to appear. Jelani Harris.
Under 21 conference.
All right, thank you.
Markel Johnson. Request fair to appear. Antonio Jones.
Oh, you're here. Okay, what would you like to do with your case? Okay, do you want to talk to the public defender's office? Yes? Okay. Have a seat. Do not go anywhere until Ms. Porter talks to you.
Jordan Jones. Request fair to appear. James King Jr.
Conference.
Thank you.
Natalia King.
Conference.
Thank you.
Jarrell Kiernan. Request fair to appear. Devania Lewis.
I'm not sure those,
That's not qualified for our services.
I need to look at it. Lewis, sit tight. I need to make certain those charges qualify. I'm not entirely certain that they do. Okay, I'll have to look at it. All right, go ahead.
Israel Lockridge.
Under 21 conference.
Quanteris Mack. Request fair to appear. Janae Marcellus. Request fair to appear. Jacoby Marshall.
Conference.
Thank you.
Matthew Mayberry.
Conference.
Ava Michelle. fair to appear. Cameron Mitchum. Request fair to appear.
What's that case number? Mitchum?
24 TK 2325.
Got it. Okay.
Ronald Mitchell.
Conference, please.
All right, thank you.
Joshua Mode.
Bench trial?
All right, are you want to talk to Public Defender's Office?
No, sir.
Are you waiving the right to apply?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There was a pause and a hesitation even in the answer. Do you have any questions you want to ask me before we part ways?
The bench trial is when you decide, right, John?
That is correct.
Yes, sir. That's the one I want to go.
Okay. That's all right, he's armed. All right, Mr. Mode, if you will please step out into the hallway and wait for the bailiffs. They're gonna have you sign the bench trial form as well as a reset. Once you've done that, they'll give you your next set of instructions.
Ladavius Morris. Request fair to appear. Jacqueline Pate.
Request jury trial.
All right, do you want to talk to the Public Defender's Office?
No, sir.
All right, are you waiving the right to apply?
Yes.
All right, if you will step out into the hallway, please, the bailiffs will have you sign a reset notice.
Michaela Patrick. Request fair to appear. Christopher Petty.
Conference, thank you.
Kitcha Phillips. Request fair to appear. Arnold Price. Request fair to appear. Dejuan Purcell.
Hold on, just. Okay. Yeah, that's another one that's not there, so,
Court date.
I was-
For Price,
yeah, I wrote down price question mark.
it's 24 TK 2355.
24 TK 2355, and what's the court date on it?
Tuesday, August 6th.
Yeah, so that one's, it's in the wrong pile, so,
Okay.
that was my suspicion on the other ones as well. That's what's up. Okay, there's just been a couple of Augusts that have been mistakenly, but they would have caught it anyway, so none of the FTAs will go out. Again, we have many sets of eyes that look at it before anything happens.
Dejuan Purcell. Request fair to appear. Justin Redding. Request fair to appear. Justin Reed. Request fair to appear. Andrew Roberts. Request fair to appear. Joseph Rogers. Request fair to appear. Miles Raconis. Request fair to appear. Celeste Sanders.
Thank you.
Kendall Sanders. Request fair to appear. Decaria Shannon. Request fair to appear. Brandon Shores. Request fair to appear. Amaya Smith.
Conference, thank you.
Andrew Stanley. Request fair to appear. DeQuadrionia Stewart. Request fair to appear. Matthew Stopelworth. Request fair to appear. Stephanie Strobridge. Request fair to appear. Anna Sun Connor. Request fair to appear. Kiriel Tarpley. Request fair to appear. Matt Tharp III.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Junita Thomas.
Thank you.
Lennox Trim.
Conference.
Conference, thank you. Appreciate you wearing a tie to court today.
Donna Trudell. Cariana Walker.
I don't have that one.
24 TK 2375. And it's August 6th.
Okay, yeah, that's. Okay,
James Washington Jr.
paid.
Samantha Washington. Request failure to appear. Adrian Watley. Request failure to appear. Chelsea Wicker. Request failure to appear. DOC Williams. Request failure to appear. Robert Wilson. Request failure to appear. Brett Wise.
Conference, thank you. Yes.
Alyssa Zapaya.
Under 21, conference.
Okay. All right, y'all ready for me to make my announcement?
Javery Johnson.
I'm under 18. I mean under 21.
Okay. And that one's on, let me see. Oh, okay. So he's a warrant in warrant status, or at least FDA status. Okay, that's fine. You'll go last, but they'll talk to you this morning. Okay. All right, so a couple of announcements. This is not my first court date, hands down. Come on, give me a little credit here. All right, so a couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. If your name was not called, stand up for me. If your name was not called, stand up for me. All right, so we're gonna very orderly work our way across here. Ma'am, if you'll very loudly tell me your name. Chambliss. And what are you charged with, Miss Chambliss? All right, did you miss a previous court date, or are you here today because you believe this is your court date?
I was arrested, but I wasn't charged. I spoke with a judge, Sam Parks, and had him investigate for me. And I spoke with the solicitor's clerk, and she told me to come to try to address it.
Tell me your first name again.
K. Ketori, Ketorrie.
All right, let me see if I can find you real quick.
The only proof I had is the OR bond paperwork. That's it.
That's fine. We're like I said earlier, I'm the luckiest judge in the state of Georgia, and we are going to find you and help you out here. Okay, you have many. What was your arrest date?
December the 5th of 2023.
Okay, you have several cases in here, most of which are civil and child support matters. Is that correct?
It's for my father, not me.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I'm not seeing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pass you off to the bailiffs and the clerk and let the solicitor's office see if they see anything in their system. But I'm not seeing any case that looks anything like that. I don't have any open criminal cases with you. And all you have with me is a couple of tickets. And that's it. So, so let's do this. So grab a seat right now. When I take my first break, talk to the bailiffs. They'll get with the clerk and see if we can find anything. It might be that we send you back up to magistrate and let them give you your next set of instructions, okay? All right, so grab a seat. Nice and loud in the back. What's your name? Collier. All right. Mr. Collier, what are you charged with? I'm sorry?
He's on the 130.
Oh, you're on the 130. All right, so you're very early for court. So what we'll do is instead of making you come back, y'all good with me going to address? Okay, so you're very early for court. You're not supposed to be here till 1:30, but you're here now, so let's go ahead and address your case. What would you like to do with your case, Mr. Collier?
I want to pay it Friday.
Okay, I'm gonna it's a payable case. So I'm gonna let you talk to the bailiffs as soon as we take a break here. They're gonna get you the fine amount. If you have that, you can go ahead and pay it. If not, you can have a conference with the solicitor's office. All right? All right, I'm gonna put that, they've got you in hand. All right, again, when you finish this today, you will not need to come back this afternoon. So, all right, nice and loud, what's your name?
Charles Harold.
Terrell? What are you charged with, sir?
Harold, sir.
Harold. I'm cheating. I have a mic and you don't. I'm sorry. Hey. There he is. You said Charles Harold?
Yes, sir.
No insurance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're also very early for court. You're not supposed to be here till 1:30, but you're here now, so let's go ahead and address it. What would you like to do with your case?
I'm gonna pay the ticket.
Okay, it's not payable, but I'll put you down for a conference with,
Okay, thank you.
sign there. It's an insurance. It's Austin, right? Middle name?
Yes, sir.
Harror.
Yes. Charles Austin Harrell on page 2. All right, we're gonna need to find your ticket. Grab a seat though. We'll get to you.
On the second page, 136.
Yes, Sherry's having a little trouble finding the actual ticket itself. It's 24 SR 209.
Yeah, it's not in here.
Okay. I can print a copy.
Okay.
Or y'all can. What's easiest for y'all? Okay, let's just do that. So clerk's team will print an extra
It's
copy.
a little ticket, it's a little handwritten.
Oh, those drive me crazy. Okay.
They could be, I'll keep looking.
So it'll be buried in there. Okay. Well, our worst case scenarios we'll do it the other one. But either way, Mr. Harrell, we've got your case in hand. We're just trying to find a piece of paper if we can. If not, we'll print a new one. It's not the end of the world. We just like to be able to put our hands on our pieces of paper if we can. All right, that's everybody over here. Coming over here, nice and loud. What's your name?
Christian Yancey.
Yancey. What are you charged with?
Listening officer.
Okay, this would be. You got it. Okay, you are also very early for court. I'm gonna put you down for a conference. We'll get to you this morning. You will not have to come back this afternoon. So, okay. All right, is there anyone else whose case was not called or name was not addressed? All right, so let me give you, you want me to do the announcements? Okay, that's fine. Happy to do it. All right, so here's what's gonna happen next. So this next phase goes, well, actually, I'm gonna take one plea before I leave the bench with the Public Defender's Office. Let's see, this would be 4-tier.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the 4-tier plea before we leave, but, actually, let's just go ahead and do that. So, because whatever announcements I make, we'll need to go after this anyway. So 4-tier.
Okay.
And Ms. Middleton, if y'all get ready to call the next round of names, just let me know.
Yeah, so I'll have that problem. Getting that.
Yeah, I can pay today.
Okay, you're on it. Yes. All right, Mr. Fortier, I have a very short couple of questions for you. Please raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right. Are you wanting to use a no-load plea on this December 31st, 2023 failure to yield with a left turn from December, the case number is 24 TK 1274.
Yes,
Have you used a no-load on any moving violation in the last 5 years?
not that I know of.
All right, well, you would have stood in front of another judge, so hopefully it would have been memorable to you. If you're mistaken and you've used it, I'm going to let you have it anyway, but DDS will sort that out themselves. Do you understand that? In other words, if you've used it, DDS will take it away, but I will not deal with that. That's between you and the Department of Driver Services.
Do you use
You said you didn't know.
actual identity?
No, no, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm hard of hearing.
I know. We're okay. We're okay. That's why I'm trying to be nice and loud and let you see my face while we're talking.
That's just like when I got up, I've been scratched spinous enough. I sit too long a certain way. I get up a certain way, the weather, and I'm like this. Everybody, go get, I can't, I'm high risk for a job.
It's okay. That is all that I need from you. So you have the funds to pay both of these tickets today? Is that correct?
I got $1,200 in the bank.
I don't know what the fines are, but they're on there and that sounds about right. Okay, Miss Margaret's gonna walk you down to the clerk's office after Miss Susan has done whatever she needs to do. Just grab a seat for right now. All right, Mr. Charles, I've removed all the other paperwork. You're good to go. All right, now that brings me to my announcements. Y'all are good to go, right? Okay. All right, next set of announcements. It is 9:57. I'm gonna call that 10 a.m. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm about to step off the bench for a minute because this next phase goes much better if I'm not sitting here. And the reason why is the solicitor's office is about to start calling people twice as fast out those double doors to your left because Miss Tony, the assistant solicitor, is now back having conferences. So they're having two conferences at the same time. The bailiffs are going to be calling people out these doors from time to time for many different reasons. And Miss Porter is going to be calling people up here. So what that means is I need all of you in your seats and sitting quietly while everything moves and you all are being taken care of. So my instructions are really straightforward. Step to the restroom for those that need to. We're all human. Get right back to your seats. It's that simple. I make that announcement every day, but what I need to tell you is on a statistical level, I don't know how else to say this. One of you is going to volunteer to go to jail today. Let me just do that again. And I've asked the other judges if I'm by myself on this, and then I'm not. So what's going to happen is one of you is going to step to the restroom and never come back. I don't know what happens. I don't know if you realize that you need to get your oil changed or try to mow your yard real quick. I'm not sure. But one of you is very likely going to step out to the restroom and not come back. What I'm going to do when one of you statistically does that is I'm going to issue a warrant for you. I don't care what your charges are. I'm going to hold you without bond out in the jail. And then I'll come see you in a few weeks out there once you've been picked up. So don't volunteer for that. But if you do, one of you probably is. That is what's going to happen. And just go ahead and know that that should not be a surprise to you that that's what's going to happen after that. With that said, it is 10 o'clock. I'm going to step off the bench until like 10:30. Does that work for y'all? So 10:40. Okay, 10:40. So I'm gonna step off the bench until 10:40. Here's your instructions. You ready? Step to the restroom. Get immediately back in your seats. Sit quietly. Let us do our jobs and get you back to your lives. Miss Middleton, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. If I call your name, if you'll just go through these double doors
All right, so we've got several pleas that are ready. I'm going to start working my way through those. As I call your name, I'm going to ask you to step up to the podium, and we're going to go through your cases and make sure we're all moving in the same direction. All right, so let's start with Azuri Blanding. If you will come up to the podium, please. Okay. If you would please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Azuri Blanding.
All right, Ms. Blanding, you're here on 24 TK 1919. You were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
All right, did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Piper. Okay, so are you under 21?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
All right, do you have any family that are here with you today?
No, sir.
Okay, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. I've learned to ask. All right, so do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
And is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Ms. Blanding, you are charged with a reduced speed of speeding 78 and a 55. At 19 years of age, that puts you at the cliff edge of losing your license, but doesn't push you over the edge, so to speak. So whether you keep your license or not will be your decision moving forward. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So all you got to do to keep your license is just don't get any more tickets.
Slow down. Yeah.
Do what?
Yeah. you're
Okay.
right.
All right. So did you here in Spalding County back on May 27th of 2024 operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 78 miles an hour and a 55 mile an hour zone?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it as negotiated. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. Azuri Blanding on 24 TK 1919, count 1 speeding 78 and a 55. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months of probation. $750 is your fine.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days and allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 in the next 30 days, your case will close with no probation conditions.
Yes, sir.
If you are unsuccessful, then 31 days out, your probation begins automatically, at which point you may, if you wish, work off your fine with community service work, but you will be required to show a valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, it's a $60 per month supervision fee.
Yes, sir.
It'd be a $50 intake fee if you get this far.
Yes, sir.
It would be consecutive to any current sentence, but it would still terminate the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Can I answer any questions for you about anything?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off to Ms. Yarborough. She's going to walk you out those double doors and have you come meet with sentence enforcement. Thank you, Ms. Blanding. Rodriguez Childs. All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, state your full name for me,
Rodriguez Childs.
and you can take your hand down, Mr. Childs. Mr. Childs, you are here today on 24 TK 1990. According to my calendar, you are on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. I'm now holding it up. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Now, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. Did you see that on here?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand that you are entering this plea without an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Childs, do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You are charged with one count of failure to obey a traffic control device. And that you did so here in Spalding County on May 24th, 2024, by failing to stop at a signal while turning right. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
It doesn't look like there was an accident. Okay. All right, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way you've negotiated it.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Rodriguez Childs, 24 TK 1990. Count 1, failure to obey a traffic control device. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. 158 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 in the next 30 days, your case will close with no probation conditions.
Yes, sir.
31 days out, if your case is still open, your probation will begin automatically, at which point you may work off your fine with community service work. You will be required to show a valid license to sentence enforcement, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 per month intake fee. This would be consecutive to any current state court sentence, and your case would still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you want to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Now, are there any questions about anything I can answer for you before we part ways?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Williams is going to walk you out those double doors and have you go meet with sentence enforcement. Good luck to you. All right, next case is Ryan Cruz. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Ryan Chase Cruz.
Mr. Cruz, you're here on 23 TK 4831. According to my calendar, you are on time for court. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Cruz, do you have any questions for me about any of these rights or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on any suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred on October 9th, 2023, and results in the suspended license charge here in Spalding County.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, you ready? Okay. Mr. Cruz, on 23 TK 4831, from October 9th of 23, count one, suspended license. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation. $750 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. Show your valid license to the sentence. Have you gotten your license reinstated?
Yes.
Okay, show that to sentence enforcement. No illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. $60 per month supervision fee, $50 one-time intake fee. This is consecutive to any current state court sentence, and your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways? All right, well, Mr. Cruz, good luck to you. Be safe. The bailiffs are going to walk you out of those double doors. Daisha Edwards. Okay. All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Deja Edwards.
All right, Ms. Edwards, you were here today on 24 TK 1697. You were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Edwards, you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea there will be no trial, this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Now, you are charged with one count of failure to yield at an intersection. You're wanting to enter a NOLO plea. Have you used a NOLO plea on any moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And do you wish to use it for this charge of failure to yield at an intersection from May 5th of 2024 here in Spalding County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I will be following it exactly the way you've negotiated it.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Daisha Edwards on 24 TK 1697, failure to yield at an intersection. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation. 306 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 within the next 30 days, then your case will close with no probation conditions. 31 days out, if your case is still open, it'll convert to probation, at which point you may work your fine off with community service work, but you will be required to show a valid license to sentence enforcement, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee. This would run consecutive to any current state court sentence, and would still terminate the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court. So you still have an exit ramp to take, even if you get that far. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, can I answer any questions for you about anything, no matter how minor, before we part ways? Okay.
That's not gonna affect my CDLs, are they?
Let me see that again. Is CDL?
Yes, sir.
That's a totally different question. Hold on. I don't know who's talking out there, but I'd like you to be not talking.
Yeah, that would be you.
Who is it?
This one right here.
Why don't you just go step out in the hallway and then you can talk to your heart's content and I'll call you back in when it's your turn. How about that? If anybody needs to go out there and talk with him, you're welcome to do that, but don't do it in here. All right, this is why talking drives me crazy. Does anybody know what I was doing? DDS,
Yes,
CDL.
CDL.
All right, so let's look, what I need to find out, and I just can't remember, is that there's two different lists for CDLs as to the charges that cause trouble. There are serious charges and there are major charges. I do not remember off the top of my head whether this charge, and I've just pulled up my manual here, failure to yield at an intersection, is under either of those. So let's look it up really quick. Failure to yield at an intersection, 4670. Okay, it does not show as indicated to be either a serious or a major violation. So for CDL purposes, according to last year's traffic court manual, I don't know all the answers, but I know where to find them. It does not appear to be impacting. Now, what a private company does with that information is a totally different question. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does that answer your question? Anything? That was a great question. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Mr. Hadaway's going to walk out those double doors. Good luck to you. All right. Next case is Tamara Gibbs. Is it Tamara or Tamara?
Tamara.
Tamara. Okay, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right. It looks to me like you wish to do a no-low plea and you have the fine in full ready for payment. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, then we're going to do a very short, just a couple of questions.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pass you off to the bailiffs. So state your full name for me.
Tamara Gibbs.
Ms. Gibbs, you're here on 24 TK 1901. Have you used a NOLO on any charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to use your NOLO for driving that occurred on May 13th, 2024, resulted in this failure to obey a traffic control device here in Spalding County?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I need to know. The fine is going to be $158. I've now signed your paperwork. We don't have to go through all the other rights. What I'm gonna do is do you want me to have her have a seat out in the hallway, and then Susan, y'all need to do something, don't you? So for a no-load, don't y'all enter up here, correct? Okay, so if you'll go into the hallway and have a seat and wait for the bailiffs. The clerks are going to enter a little bit of information in the system, and then in just a minute, the bailiffs will come walk you down to the clerk's office to make your payment.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Ethan Fallon. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Ethan Fallon,
It says you're under 21. How old are you?
18.
Goodness. Okay. Do you have any family here today?
I do. My dad.
Your dad? Okay. You're welcome to come stand with him if you want. You don't have to. I just always extend that to the family of under 21 drivers. So, and if you wait a minute, change your mind, and you want to come up, just stand up and walk on up. Nobody will stop you. All right. So, Mr. Fallon, goodness, that is a fast speed. Okay. Let's go through the rights first and talk about your case here in a second. Now, you were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Now, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on here?
Yes, sir.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just for record purposes, you had accidentally initialed both that you are and are not.
Oh.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna strike out the are not, and we're just gonna keep going.
All right.
So, okay, so, Mr. Fallon, you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a jury trial, and you, by entering this plea, there's not going to be a trial. In this case, it's going to be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Fallon. How old did you say you are?
18.
I think this is going to cause a suspension of your license. Give me just a second. Yeah, this is definitely going to cause a suspension of your license. Do you understand that through operation of law, when we complete this program, or when we complete this plea, excuse me, the gears will turn and the Department of Driver Services will suspend your driver's license for 6 months. It's a hard permit with no suspension. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is that acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, then, all right, and lastly, you want to give up your right to a jury trial and enter this plea, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's talk about your speed, because goodness. Did you, here in Spalding County, back on April 26th of 2024, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 101 in a 55?
Yes, sir.
What road was this on? Oh, 16. Okay. Let's pause. Oh, yeah, let's pause and let Ms. Middleton call the next round.
I just wanted to make sure that I called everybody, but I just wanted to make sure that
Is-
nobody else was.
Is there anyone else in here who is waiting for their conference whose name was not called? All right, step out into the hallway. Anybody else? They
I
were,
don't have any more tickets.
okay, they were the ones who were not on. What's your name again?
Charles Harold.
Harold. Oh, afternoon, and we couldn't find his ticket, and they were gonna print one.
Okay, just
If
step
we
out here and I'll get you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We always stop when y'all come in. If we stop them, everything else stops. So, all right, do y'all have everything you need? All right, we got that. All right. Okay, Mr. Fallon, did you operate your motor vehicle at that speed on that date?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. I do think it's the right recommendation, given this situation. I think the solicitor's office has hit the resolution on the proverbial head. Any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
Okay, here we go. Ethan Fallon on 24 TK 1590. Speeding, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months of probation. Of $1,440 is your fine. Now, you may work off that fine in its entirety with community service work if you wish. You may pay off if you wish, or any combination of the two. You will need to get your Georgia driver's license back after the 6-month suspension and show that to sentence enforcement before your case will close. No illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products. You will be tested for those. You will have a Fourth Amendment waiver. You'll have a $60 per month supervision fee. You're going to have a $50 one-time intake fee. This will be consecutive to any current sentence. This will terminate once 6 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. And of course, you have a 6-month suspension, so you'll need to get that license back before it completes. You will additionally need to complete 20 hours of community service work at no less than 6 hours per week. and you will need to complete a defensive driving school. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. I've just got to say it out loud because your dad is here that, speeding is one of the number one causes of death of people under 21 years of age. We're going to be keeping an eye on you. Please do not catch any new charges. Your dad does not want that call that every parent dreads, saying that you were driving recklessly and you hit a tree and killed yourself. Okay? So I want you to have a long, healthy, wonderful life. Will you do that for me?
Yes, sir.
By slowing down?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. You may
Thank you.
walk out with the bailiffs. Dad, you're welcome to go with them as long as you don't make a scene. So, good luck to you. All right. James King. All right. If you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right. Take your hand down. State your full name for me.
James Christopher King Jr.
All right, Mr. King, you are here today. Oh, okay, you have you are entering a NOLO and you have the funds in full. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's just jump into that then. All right. So, have you used a NOLO on any charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
I am.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County
Please.
on April 24th, 2024, and 24 SR 0703 for driving a commercial vehicle without a commercial license?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you gotten your CDL?
Not at this time. I don't know, sir.
All right, and you understand that this will be considered a serious violation under the CDL, which means you'll just go on a watch list, and if you catch any new CDL charges, any charges that qualify as serious violations, that will cause a 60-day suspension of your commercial driver's license.
I am aware of that, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then you and I have covered everything we need to cover. I'm filling out the rest of the paperwork now. I'm going to pass you off to the bailiffs. I'm going to have you wait out in the hallway. The bailiffs are going to give this to the clerk. They're going to enter a few things in the system, and then the bailiffs will come get you from the hallway, walk you down to the clerk's office.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. All right, Marshall, Jacoby Marshall. Okay. Please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Jacoby Marshall.
All right, Mr. Marshall, you are here on 24 SR 0682, and you were here on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
as well as page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Marshall, did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Marshall, do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Now, you are charged with one count of operating a motor vehicle while your license is suspended. You're wanting to enter a NOLO plea on that charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO plea on any suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
I'm older, 25.
Well, I'm older too, so we're in this together. So, all right. Now, do you wish to use that NOLO for that charge from May 27th, 2024 here in Spalding County?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Marshall on 24 SR 0682, suspended license, the NOLO is granted. It's 12 months of probation. $750 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. Count 1 is dismissed. You need to obtain a valid license, show it to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence, and it'll terminate after 1 day has passed and all conditions have been met. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, can I answer any questions for you, no matter how small, before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, and then Ms. Williams will walk you out those double doors and have you go meet with sentence enforcement, okay? All right, Ronald Mitchell. All right, you are Ronald Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Ronald Eugene Mitchell.
Mr. Mitchell, you were on time for court today. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You've passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
And are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
as well as page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
It is, yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed?
Right.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Now, you are asking me for a NOLO. Have you used a NOLO on any suspended license charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred on May 23rd, 2024 here in Spalding County and resulted in this suspended license charge?
Yes, sir, please.
All right, and then count 2, failure to yield, you're entering a guilty plea on that charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's from the same course of events?
Yes, sir. Mhm.
All right, so I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO as to count 1, the suspended license, as well as your admission of guilt as to count 2, the failure to yield, there's enough for me to accept this plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. Reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Ronald Mitchell, 24 TK 2022, count 1, suspended license. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, $750 is your fine. Count 2, failure to yield, guilty, 12 months, $158 is your fine. You may work off your fines with community service work. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No drugs, alcohol, or no illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products should be tested for those. $60 per month supervision fee, $25 one-time intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence, and your case will close once at least 1 day has passed. No violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Can I ask you what was that again about?
That's the
one-day
habeas.
bail?
Habeas is that really weird.
No, I'm talking about, you said something about the 1 day probation or?
Yeah, so Georgia law requires me to place you on probation for at least
Yes.
1 day for the suspended license.
okay.
So, but frankly, by the time you get to your first report date, which is going to be more than 1 day from today,
Yeah.
you'll be able to close it. But I'm required to at least say 1 day.
Right, right.
So,
Okay, yeah, it'll be closed by then. for
Yeah.
sure.
So from your perspective, it doesn't change what you are expecting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. You can step out. You'll meet with sentence enforcement. Christopher Petty. Oh.
Ditto.
Let me see, hold on, let me grab this paper. Ed,
Richie.
sorry. I need to look at that paperwork real quick. I think I flipped something. Actually, let's let Susan look at it.
On the calendar, they're just flipped,
They're flipped.
1 and 2.
So one is the, yeah, you're right. So we wrote it up as one is the suspended license and two, the tickets are numbered.
You'll just change the number on the final that
Yeah, they're just numbered backwards on the final disposition. All right, so if I just change the numbers, we're good to go? Okay. This would be easier for all of y'all if I was just perfect, but you're stuck with me. So, all right, got that. So it was just a clerical error, just needed correcting to make the clerk's office life a little easier. Okay, Christopher Petty?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Yes, Christopher Randall Petty.
Mr. Petty, you're here today on 24 TK 1922. According to my calendar, you were on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights are read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials on each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yep.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
Because you understood everything that's on it.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Petty, did you see on this document, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Petty, you are charged with one count. Okay, you want to do a NOLO. So speeding 70 and a 45. Have you used a NOLO on any moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking me to accept that NOLO for driving that occurred on 5/27/24 and results in the charge of speeding 70 and a 45?
I'm asking you, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And then as to count 2, the improper lane change, did you here in Spalding County improperly move your vehicle outside of your lane of travel without being certain that you could do so safely?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then count 3 is going to be dismissed. Okay, I'm going to find with your request for the NOLO as to count 1, that's the speeding, that's proper, and I'm going to grant it. With your admission of guilt as to count 2, there's enough for me to take the plea, and count 3 is dismissed. Everything is proper for me to accept this plea and a sentence according to the terms that you have negotiated. Do you have any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right. Christopher Petty on 24 TK 1922. Count 1, speeding 70 and a 45. The NOLO is granted. It's 12 months probation. $750 is your fine. Count 2, improper lane change. That's also guilty. I'm sorry, that is guilty. 12 months probation. $158 is your fine.
Yes, sir.
You may count 3, of course, is dismissed. You may work off your fine with. Oh no, we're going to do a 30 by 30. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close with no probation conditions.
All right.
31 days out, your probation begins automatically, at which point you may, if you wish, work your fine off with community service work. You will be required to show a valid license to sentence enforcement, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, one-time $50 intake fee. This would run consecutive to any current sentence, and it'll still terminate the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
All right.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
All right.
All right, any questions from me about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Hadaway's gonna walk you out those double doors.
All right.
Good luck to you. All right, Celeste Sanders. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
If you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Celeste Sanders.
All right, Ms. Sanders, you're here on 24 TK 1774. According to my calendar, you were on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Sanders, you've passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes.
And is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Sanders, did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
You're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You are asking me for a NOLO plea. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
And have you used a NOLO on any moving violation in the last 5 years?
No.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on May 9th, 2024, and resulted in this charge of following too closely with an accident?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything that I can answer for you before I sentence?
Kind of a crazy one, I suppose, but how would it affect my ability to still get my CDL?
Well, it just depends on if it's on the list or not. So I've still got the list pulled up from the last question. Let me just type it in real quick. All right. 4649, which is following too closely, is considered a serious traffic violation. So what that means is by entering this plea for your CDL purposes, even with a NOLO, you'll go on what's called a watch list. So for the next 3 years, if you get any other serious traffic violations, which is kind of a random list that the legislature chose, then you will be suspended for 60 days as a CDL.
Okay, so I still have like the option to get it?
Unless there's other charges that I'm not aware of, but in a vacuum, in this closed universe, the answer is you still qualify.
Awesome. Okay.
So again, I don't know what else you have, but that's between you and DDS.
This is it?
So, okay, that's a good question. Any other questions?
No, that's it.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes.
All right, Celeste Sanders on 24 TK 1774 from May 9th of 24. Count 1, following too closely with an accident. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation. 306 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 within the next 30 days, your case closes with no probation conditions. After that, I forgot to say count 2 is dismissed. After that, 31 days out, your probation starts automatically. As soon as your probation starts, you may work off your fine with community service work if you wish, but you will be required to show a valid license to sentence enforcement.
Okay.
No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee. This is consecutive to any current sentence, and your case will close the moment you satisfy. Even if you get that far, your case will close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court.
Okay.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
All right.
Any questions for me about anything before we part ways?
No, that's all. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Williams, going to walk you out those double doors and have you meet with sentence enforcement. Trim, Lennox Trim. All right. All right, Mr. Trim, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Lennox Denzel Luther Trump.
Okay. Mr. Trim, give me just a second. Miss Tony, can I ask you a quick question? point that I put up on the wall.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
Now, Mr. Johnson, you've passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
You a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so do you understand from this document as well as from listening to my rights that I read out that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Are you under 21?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
19.
All right, do you have any family that are here with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're welcome to come up with them if you want. You certainly don't have to. Yeah, I just want to make certain that the family that are here with the under 21 knows that they can if they want. So, okay. Mr. Johnson, did you here in Spalding County operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 78 miles an hour and 55 mile an hour zone?
Yes, sir.
That's going to put you on the cliff edge of losing your license, but will not in and of itself cause a loss of your license. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So all you got to do to keep your license is don't get another ticket. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
You going to do that for me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. And you understand you're giving up your right to a jury trial by entering this plea?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to find that with your admission of guilt as to the speed of 78 and a 55, which is a reduced speed, that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea.
Yes, sir.
I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions that I can answer for you about anything?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Johnson, on 23 TK 2812, count 1 speeding, 78 and a 55, I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $750 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. You'll need to show a valid license to sentence enforcement. And Fourth Amendment waiver, no substance abuse, alcohol, or hemp product. No illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products should be tested for those substances. $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee one time. This is consecutive to any current sentence. Your case may close once 3 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. You need to complete 10 hours of community service work as well as a defensive driving school unless you have done those already. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Okay. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. And Kathy, that was,
Just need the number again.
okay. The 23 TK 2812. So walk-in bench warrant lift. Okay. And your bench warrant or failure to appear or whatever was on there is lifted.
Okay.
All right. The bailiff's going to walk you out. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Collier. She's okay? Okay. All right, Mr. Collier, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Resident Bernard Collier, Jr.
All right, Mr. Collier, you're here on 24 TK 0048. You're here on this afternoon's calendar, but you have now reached an agreement to resolve your case. Is that correct?
Yes.
Which means that once we complete this, you will be released from reappearing this afternoon. You won't need to come back. Mr. Collier, you were on time this morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Mr. Collier, you passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are those your initials on page 1?
Yes.
As well as page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Collier, did you read on here as well as hear me say that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Collier, you are charged with a modified charge of too fast for conditions and that you operated your motor vehicle in a manner that was too fast for the conditions of the road. Did you do that?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. Review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any
Yes.
questions for me about anything before I sentence?
Can I pay the fines separate? Like, can I split the fines or I gotta pay it for?
Oh, yeah, no, you can split it all up. You can work that out with sentence enforcement.
All right.
So, in fact, you'll have 30 days to even split it up as much as you need to.
Oh,
So,
okay, guys.
yeah, you're gonna have a lot of flexibility here. All right, Reginald Collier on 24 TK 48, count one, too fast for conditions, guilty, 12 months, 306 is your fine. You may work, I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program, which means that if you pay your fine in full plus $30, within the next 30 days, your case will close. You may also, 31 days out, if your case is still open, then probation will start automatically, at which point you may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Show your license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $60 per month supervision fee, a one-time $50 intake fee. This will run consecutive to any current sentence, and your case would still close the moment you satisfied your obligations, even if you made it that far. So, you understand that?
Yes.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, any questions for me about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm gonna pass you off to the bailiffs. They're gonna walk you out those double doors. All right, let's see. Harold? Raise your hand if you're here doing community service work. All right, that's my back row. You're with Harold, you're waiting. You're doing community service work? Okay. Just making sure nobody's waiting on me.
I'll wait on you,
On which one?
Louis. So me, I look over my charges, see what I ever.
Oh, I do need to do that, so sit tight. Do you have the fine amount in full, Mr. Harrell? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, then we're gonna do a very short plea, and I'm gonna send you downstairs.
Yes,
So, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, all my community service work folks can get a log out at noon. I'm gonna get y'all on out of here so I can close things out. Okay, you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on any, no insurance charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on February 21st, 2024?
Yes,
results
sir.
in this no insurance charge. You have the fine in full today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
$454. Okay, I do not have any other questions that I need to cover with you on the record. I'm not required to place you on probation, and you have the fine amount in full. Therefore, what I'm gonna do is have you go sit out in the hallway.
Yes, sir.
While the clerk enters in the NOLO plea, and at which point the bailiffs will come out in just a little bit and get you. Don't go anywhere until the bailiffs come talk to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, give me just 1 second. Come on up. Tell me your name again.
Connor Lewis.
All right, Mr. Lewis, I just needed to look at your charges. Those are not the type of charges that normally the Public Defender's Office gets involved in, but there was a question on the table as to whether or not those qualified. Oh, okay, I think
I would definitely take a bench trial because.
well, you asked me about an attorney, that's
Yeah,
what we're
okay,
talking.
so yeah, the attorney for the bench trial.
So those are two different questions. I'm happy to move you to the bench trial. The question on the table is, not everybody gets an attorney for the public defender. Everybody can hire an attorney, but not everybody gets a court-appointed attorney if they want one.
Okay, I can hire one if I have to.
Well, that's fine, but I need to know, I need to just take a quick minute and I just need to look to see if your charges qualify. For example, if you came in with a seatbelt ticket,
I mean, I was gonna pay the seatbelt ticket. It was the
You and I are not quite tracking each other. Just let's both slow down. What I was trying to say to you is, if your charges do not include any sort of probation, then I cannot allow you to, or I would not allow you to apply with the public defender's office.
Okay.
I'm reasonably certain the failure to use due care does carry probation. It does. Okay. So your count 3 for you, failure to use due care, that does carry a probation period, or it could, and because of that, you do qualify to apply with the public defender's office.
Okay, yeah, Chris, I would
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you sign a reset notice for a bench trial and have him sign the bench trial form. And then if you want to go apply with the public defender's office, just very gently tell them, because they left before I could tell them
Okay.
that Judge Thacker looked at it and count 3 means you qualify.
Okay.
You have the, let me be very careful what I'm saying here. You have my permission to apply. Now, I don't know your financial status, and I don't know if you're going to qualify or not.
Okay.
So you just had a threshold question of, did you even have the right to apply for the public defender's office? And the answer is, you have the right to apply. Okay? Any other questions for me?
Yeah, no other questions. So basically, what's going on is I get a bench trial, I get a new date, and I get to get a. Okay,
And,
yeah, cool.
and the reset notice you're about to sign has the address for the public defender's office, and it's
Okay.
your job to go see them
Okay.
today
All right.
and fill out that application.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. These are good questions. Anything else?
Oh no, sir. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Come on up, Mr. Trim. All right, Mr. Trim, sorry to make you wait.
It's all good.
But I wanted to handle your plea a little bit differently, and so I wanted to